ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनाम् उपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणान् ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः. According to the scriptures, a Brahmin has to go through 40 varieties of purifications or samskaras in a lifetime. One of the most important among them is marriage. The word marriage in Sanskrit language means responsibility undertaken. In the Hindu culture, a man has to clear 3 debts, one to the gods, and another to his ancestors, and the third to the saints. The debt to the gods is cleared by the performance of sacrifices and rituals. Ancestral debt is cleared by progeny. The debt to the saints is cleared by adhering to celibacy before marriage. Yajnena devebhyaha prajaya pitrubhyaha brahmacharyena rishibhyaha. Thus, marriage is a spiritual responsibility, an emotional confluence of minds, a physical bond, a relationship between 2 families, and a bond between 2 hearts. That is the reason why Kalidasa says, Sambandham saptapadina muchyate. A proper relationship is created by walking together 7 steps or by talking together 7 words. In the marriage ritual, one of the most important components is walking 7 steps together around fire. In the Sanskrit language, the word marriage implies responsibility, and one who holds responsibility is the husband, and he is responsible to his wife. The Manusmriti says, where the women are worshipped, gods exist there. Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devataha. The very basic feature of our culture is to adore and worship women. By nature, women are implicitly responsible. Man needs to be told of his responsibility. That is the reason why the scriptures speak about the duties for the man only. Marriage, thus, is a responsibility undertaken by both the bride and the groom, by the man and the woman, by the husband and the wife. Marriage is an auspicious event, an event which gives physical pleasure, mental stability, emotional comfort, and spiritual elevation. Vedas enunciate basic steps for the performance of marriage. The first among them is known as Snatakam. This is a ritual performed to nullify any misdeeds or lapses occurred during the celibate life. This is not just a ritual of nullification or lapses alone, but this is also a prayer to the 8 rulers of 8 sides, Ashtadikpalakas, the 9 planets, Navagrahas, the 5 elements, Panchabhutas, Indra and other gods, Brahaspati, the Guru of gods, the sun, the moon, and the fire. While invoking these gods, the bridegroom prays for longevity, vigor, brilliance, fame, and progress. One of the components of Snatakam is a symbolic haircut. At one point of time, it used to be complete shaving of the head. It is a symbolic act to surrender ego of the man to gods, and it is also symbolic for the bride to show love towards the man, the love that is beyond physical beauty. It symbolizes that mind, heart, and soul are more important than mere physical appearance. From the time of Snatakam until the end of every ritual in the marriage, the fire god is the witness. Fire god is omnivorous. Therefore, he destroys the evils and lapses in us. He is omniprotector. He protects us from all evils and all illegitimate desires, and he is the witness of everything that we do during the course of the marriage and thereafter. The marriage ritual in the Telugu community is performed according to the lunar calendar. Therefore, most of the marriage auspicious times, muhurtams, are held during the night with the moon as witness. The Snatakam and Kashi Yatra are held during the day with sun god as witness, and the fire god is witness for everything performed during the marriage. After the Snatakam is over, the bridegroom seeks permission to go on pilgrimage to Kashi. Charita brahmacharyoham krutavrata chatushtayah Kashi yatram gamishyami anugnyam dehi me shubham. He says, having undergone this celibate life, performing 4 different kinds of scriptural rituals, I seek permission from the elders to go to Kashi. At this time, in present day marriages, we find the brother of the bride stopping the bridegroom, asking him not to go to Kashi, and requesting him to marry his sister. Actually, according to the scriptures, the father of the bride approaches the bachelor who is on his way to Kashi and tells him, Salankaram mama sutam kanyam dasyami te dvija paningrihitva sagnihi tvam gaccha swagaccha madgruham. This shloka represents the entire meaning of the complete ritual of the marriage. The father of the bride says, decorated daughter of mine is being given to you. Please hold her hand, and with fire and as fire come to my house. The 2 major components of this verse are holding the hand and requesting the bachelor to come as fire. Fire represents destruction of evil and represents purity. The bridegroom, with all purifications done, enters the house of the bride for marriage, and even purifies her lapses also, if any. Holding the hand, according to the scriptures, by itself represents marriage. That is the importance given to holding the hands by the scriptures. In our culture, there are 8 kinds of marriages. Brahman, where a bachelor seeks a bride after knowing her antecedents. Prajapatyam, a decorated bride is given to a bachelor and they are asked to live righteously. This is the kind of marriage we normally perform. Arsham, bridegroom gives 2 cows to the father of the bride and seeks her hand in marriage. Daivam, a divine marriage where the head priest in the sacrifice is given the bride as an offering. Gandharvam, a man and a woman joining together out of mutual desire, like Dushyanta and Shakuntala. Asuram, a marriage with a dowry. Rakshasam, a demonic marriage where the bride is taken by force from her relatives. Krishna's marriage with Rukmini. Paishachikam, devilish, where an intoxicated or a sleeping woman is seduced. The first 4 varieties are according to Dharma, and the progeny born out of those wedlocks purify generations of ancestors on both sides. After this Natakam, the bride and the groom are given auspicious showers and are offered new clothes known as Madhuparkam. In reality, the word Madhuparkam means a combination of honey and jaggery offered along with the clothes. The white clothes represent purity and Sattvaguna, and the border indicates the sprouting of Rajoguna. The father of the bride offers Arghyam and Padyam as a respectful reception and washes the feet of the bridegroom. First the right foot and then the left foot, considering him as an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. The father of the bride makes his intention of getting his daughter married known with a vow before he offers his daughter in marriage. This is done with a belief that by doing so, he is doing an auspicious deed equivalent to performing 100 sacrifices to elevate 10 generations of his ancestors from various netherworlds to Brahmaloka, and for him as well. Atishtoma, Atiratra, Aptoryama, Santapana, Vajapeya, Poundarika, Ashwamedhadi, Shatakratu Punyaphalavapyardham, Mayasaha, Dasha Purvaresham, Dashaparesham, Madvamshyanam, Pitrunam, Narakaduttirya, Shashvata Brahmaloka Nivasa Siddhyardham, Swagruhokta Prakarena, Salankruta, Sahiranyodaka Kanya Mahadanam Karishye. He tells the bridegroom that his daughter, the bride, should not be exceeded in dharma, righteousness, artha, material pleasure, and kama, desire. Dharme, ardhecha, kamecha, nati charitavya. The bridegroom promises that he would not exceed her in all these three areas. Nati charami. That very moment is considered auspicious. Tadeva lagnam svidinam tadeva tarabalam chandrabalam tadeva. Simultaneously, the bride worships Gauri, embodiment of compassion, who bestows longevity on the husband. A protective band is tied on her left hand. It is a tradition that has been there since the days of Rukmini. In the Bhagavad Purana, Potana describes how Rukmini celebrated her Gauri Puja in order to get Lord Krishna as her husband. Namitina manambuna sanatanulaina umamaheshulan mimmu purana damputula melu bhajintu gadamma meti peddamma దయాంబురాశివి గదమ్మ హరిన్ పతిసేయుమమ్మ నిన్ను నమ్మిన వారికెన్నడను నాశము లేదు గదమ్మ ఈశ్వరి. For a very long time, there was a belief in Telugu community that reciting the story of Rukmini Kalyanam will bestow marriages on the unmarried girls, and it still exists. The bride sows 9 different grains in 9 clay plates, thus symbolically sowing seeds for her future prosperity and well-being. The bride is then carried in a basket by her maternal uncles to the marriage dais, led by ladies with lamps in their hands. The bride and the groom are separated by a veil. They do not see each other until they are married. The priest recites an introduction of both the girl and the boy, gives the details of the gotra they belong to, the 3 generations with the names of great-grandfather, grandfather and the father. Just before the Muhurtam, the auspicious moment, there is a churnika recited by priest seeking blessings of all the gurus, gods, saints, pativratas, rivers, aromatic herbs, trees, mountains, scriptures, astrology and other sciences and planets, etc. Now the auspicious moment, the Subha Muhurtam. The auspicious moment is the time when the bride and the groom place a mixture of jeera and jaggery on each other's heads amidst chanting of the slokas. According to Ayurveda, the mixture of jeera and jaggery has a cooling effect and invigorates the bride and the groom from fatigue due to sleeplessness. Like jeera and jaggery, they stick to each other for life. Like the tastes of jeera and jaggery, they face different kinds of pleasant and unpleasant situations in their life which they symbolically accept, both pain and pleasure, with equanimity. Now the bride and the groom become man and wife respectively. The bridegroom then sees the bride as the Sanskrit verse Aghora Chakshuhu is recited. This is followed by a ritual where the bridegroom keeps a yoke on the head of the bride, closes the hole of the yoke with gold, and through the hole, through the Mangala Sutras, pour water saying, Apaha Shatam Pavitra Vitata Hyasuhu. The water thus poured is considered to be from several sacred rivers and purifies both the bride and the groom. He ties a rope made out of sacred grass on the waist of the bride to the north of her navel. The Mangala Sutra is then tied. The bridegroom says, I am tying this sacred auspicious thread around your throat. May you live 100 springs. Mangalyam tantu nanena mama jivana hetuna kanthe badhnami shubhage tvam jiva sharadam shatam.